Right, it's my day off, so I'm planning on taking a quick trip to the outskirts of Sucre. I'm still in Sucre, still working, but anyway, this is where I'm thinking of going. I don't know if you can see this. That's the centre of town, and beyond the centre of town it's a nice mountain range. Now, in theory, this region is very rich in minerals and also in some fossils. What I'm going to do is just go, I'm not heading up to the top of those mountains. I'm going to go on the along the valley floors and just see what I can pick up from the point of view of rocks that are on the valley floor, in the stream beds. In theory there should be gold around here. There are some gold mines not very far from here, but you know, it's just something to do on Sunday, so I'm just going to see what we can come across, and so let's get moving. Right, this is where the pavement ends and the dirt track begins. So found my way out of the town and up onto this hillside, and hopefully we should be able to make it to this little village called La Glorieta, but we'll find out soon. Looks quite a decent track. Initially Google Maps tried to take me up some virtually vertical side streets which ended in nowhere, but as usual you have to use a little bit of discernment with these navigators, because otherwise you can end up in some real tight spots. Local policing for you. I don't know if you can see this on the lamp post there. There is a sort of doll being hung up there, and it says, "Think before you steal." There's another one up on this one over here, and has another signpost. Which I can't quite read. Someone's handwriting is a bit appalling. And just drove past another one which says "Thieves will be burnt." So because there's no such thing as police force up here, you have to enforce local justice. There's no other way of doing it, really. So basically a deterrent. People are looking at me like I'm just landed in a spacecraft. So right in the middle of absolutely nowhere, find this guy standing on the roadside, and he jumps up as soon as he sees me, runs over and says, "Jebabme," can hardly speak any Spanish at all, and so there he is sitting in the back of the truck. I said, "Where are you going?" He said, "La Chacoma." I have no idea where that is. He says, anyway, so I said, "Well, no worries, jump on the back." And he'll just soon smack on the top of the roof of the truck to let me know if he wants to jump off. Now, there's some really interesting geology around here, but to be honest, I can't really look too much, because there are some rather narrow parts and that's quite a long drop. So, a little goat. So I'm just going to keep my eyes on the road for now until I get to where I'm heading, because it's just a little bit of a steep drop in certain places, and all sorts of surprises. Aha. Now I think I've come across the place that I was looking for. Down there. Which is good. Now this is actually quite a scary little track because although it's fairly wide, if you do make a mistake, you got a long way down. So I'm just yeah, just keeping going on straight, sticking to the inside of the road. I just hope that nothing is going to come up because this part is rather narrow. And there's a nice bunch of ripple marks, absolutely beautiful. Take a look at those. Just that, look at that. Amazing ripple marks there. Now I've reached the village and I don't know if you can see that that is the road I was on. Listo? And there's the vertical drop which was just underneath me. No problema, listo. Chao, chao. Chao, chao. ¿Se puede seguir o no? ¿Se puede seguir? ¿Hay camino o no hay camino?
Hay camino por arriba, pues.
Arriba.
Hasta Yurabamba.
Allá, listo. Ya, gracias. Gracias. Chao, chao. Ya, listo. Right, there we go. There's the guy behind me. And now we're off to see if we can. It says there's roads to the next town, which have nothing to do with the roads. I mean the town names that are on Google Maps. But anyway, who cares? Quite an interesting place as a geologist point of view anyway. Lots of interesting rocks, different colours. Right, I'm come to a dead end here now. In theory I could start climbing up again and go along a road to this other town, but to be honest I'm not really here to drive eternally non-stop. What I want to do is have a look at the rocks that are down in the river surface. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to park here in the shade and go for a stroll, see what we can find. So this morning I bought myself this really nice camouflage rucksack, which I'm very happy with. And so I've got the essential stuff, my drink, which I've already drunk part of, and my Cheetos crisps, obviously, that's very important. And what else have we got? More crisps, just in case. And just for the extra energy kick, these fantastic acid tubes. Yeah, they're definitely something that I need to have with me on any trip. So I have my walking boots on and not much else actually. I'm not all that prepared really for what I'd like to be. Anyway, we're just going for a walk along the riverbed, so I'm not going mountaineering, I'm not going up into the middle of absolutely nowhere. And there are people sort of within screaming distance. So no cell phone coverage, but at least I do have my GPS, that is working. So let's go. I did also bring a couple of other things with me, one of which is a little flashlight, which is also a stun gun, just in case. I've also got a first aid kit, just in case. And what else? And a nice thick alpaca jumper, just in case. But anyway, this is looking good. Plenty of interesting rocks. And what I want to try and do now is get across the stream. At first I'm going to tighten up my boots because this is can be ankle spraining territory. Right, see if we can get across the stream. I was looking for a stick to try and help me balance and what have you, but Unfortunately, it's not much growing around here. So there we go. Made it so far. So I'll try and get across this little bit of stream here as well. So I want to try and get into the middle of the riverbed, see what we can find. Rock and roll. Just got one more little stream to cross, and then we're right into the middle. Now I just had to take this little detour because I couldn't cross the other area which I wanted to because it's too wide and too deep. But the funny thing is, I've just come across this, which is the kind of thing I was looking for. Get these crystals, and these little clumps of minerals as well. And there we go, you see more of them here. And over on this rock here, there's this pretty obvious vein of iron ore that goes right the way through. Look at that, huge. So these are clear indications that this region has got lots of minerals. Look at all these little sparkling crystals. So keep on looking in the right place, see if we can find something interesting. Now you see this stuff here, it's basically shales, and so this is the stuff where oil and gas, hydrocarbons in general are found. The size of this tree that's being washed down is pretty tall. We're going for, goodness me, 25 meters, which just shows how strong the currents can be. Here's a gaping wall, but it's completely destroyed, and some of these boulders are pretty big. So this just shows that there are times when the water does suddenly come down here pretty fast. There's the guy that I left. He's walking on to the next village by the looks of it. He just signalled to me that I should go on with him, but that's fine. I'm just he doesn't understand why on earth but I'll be down here. What on earth am I doing? So I'm just going to keep on looking at rocks. So as I was saying, you have to walk along these river valleys with an ear open and watch for any changes in level of water, because suddenly there can be a torrent that comes down extremely fast, no warning. It can be bright blue skies above you, but it can be raining up in the hills. So always keep that in mind. Now how on earth am I going to get across this? I think I'm going up onto the gaping wall and I'm crossing up there. Right, let's do that. Right, see if we can get across this. Look at that. Really nice. Right, to cross this river I'm going to need a stick. So someone has very kindly piled up some sticks here, which I'm going to take advantage of. That's pretty good, does the job. Now see if we can get across this without getting too wet. I've abandoned the attempt to get across the river because there was no way of actually getting across without getting wet, and I'm just not up for that right now. And I thought, well, maybe there's another way of getting across, because I see a couple of huts on the other side. So I walked up a little bit further, and lo and behold, look what I can see. It's a suspension bridge. I mean, how convenient is that? Gee. So that's where I'm heading. I'm going to get across the river that way. Made it to our suspension bridge. There you go. And the river's got so many stones in it, I could probably cross it anyway, but anyway. And over there, in the distance, a whole bunch of people all washing their clothes. So that's what most of these people are doing down here on the shore. And by the sounds of it, there's only one radio station that reaches here, because a couple of houses that I walked through all got the same tune blaring out of them. So no comments on the music. It's a genuine suspension bridge, and it moves quite well. That's quite cool. Look at the way it moves. Nice job. Right, I'm just going to take a quick break now. It's kind of lunchtime, just gone past lunchtime, and it's quite a nice spot. But take a look at what's behind me. I don't know if you can see, these rocks are shiny and they're kind of got a blue colour. Quite amazing. And just up here, look at that nice fold that goes up there. So I'm quite amazed by these rocks. They're incredibly shiny. It's as if they were greasy. And take a look, there's crystals there. So interesting. Shaly, oily rocks, which is why this area is drilled for oil. But it's interesting to see it virtually on the surface. So I've got all this dim going on above me, and I'm like, what on earth's going on? And I look at this tree, and up in this tree, which is full of moss, which just shows how clean the air is, we've got two parrots and a little tiny kingfisher. I don't know if we can see him. There he goes. No, sorry, it's not a kingfisher. It's a hummingbird, a very large hummingbird. There he goes. Look at that. Now I was just getting a bit frustrated because I can't go any further up the river on this side. It's getting too steep and it's very crumbly. So I could screw up and end up falling, and I'm not really up for that. So I was just coming back, and I was just wondering if there was a way across the river here, and I suddenly come across this. Take a look at that. Been pretty jammed full of fossils. It's a nice piece of rock, which I think I'll have to take home, no choice. The only thing is it's a little bit big, but I think it'd be worth it. That's something to take home. You see, this is quite kind of fascinating to me. This is an ancient walkway, or fairly ancient. I have no idea how old it is, but it's a walkway that's been cut into the rock, and stones have been piled up on one side, cemented together to make this walkway. I have no idea how old it is, but it goes all the way along the edge, and the rocks have been cut away, but up there it seems to have been eroded away recently and completely impassable, so I'm afraid I'm having to go back, which is really not what I wanted to do, but it's definitely something that just haven't got any choice about, unless I want to get myself completely soaking wet and cross over, which I'm half thinking about. Just slipped there. Actually, I didn't slip, it was my stick that slipped, and I was relying on it, and nearly ended up in the drink. But anyway, let's pick up my stick back again and get back on our feet. Would have been good on film. But anyway, let's go. Right, next time. Now, I was gonna get my feet wet and decided and cross over onto the other side and continue up the river, but the sun is pretty low, which means actually, well, judging by the time, we've only got about 3 hours of daylight left, so I decided that this time I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go and get myself completely wet and cross over, but I might come back again. Meanwhile, I'm going to stick to this side and see what I can find, because I've been quite encouraged by finding that nice little bunch of fossils, and see if I can find anything else. I made it back to my trusty steed, and so what I'm going to try and do is see if I can get back to Sucre city, kind of in a roundabout loop rather than going back the same road. One, because the road is kind of a bit dodgy, and secondly because I just do not drive up the same road again. So we're going to see if we can make it. But it's going to be a bit more of a dirt track, so let's see how far we can get. I'm afraid I've given up with the idea of trying to get to this other town and go round the back of Sucre, because it's basically driving along this riverbed, so I think we're going to give that a break and just have to head back the same way we came. Whenever you own a pickup truck in South America, you're guaranteed that people are going to ask you to give them a lift. So I've got this old lady and her granddaughter and a little puppy in the back of the truck right now, and I can bet you I'll be picking up more by the way on the roadsides before we get to Sucre. I'm pretty sure of that. So now it's time for my warm Coca-Cola. And now I have 4 more in the back. So now we're following another truck that's left the village as well. As you can see, it's the only real way of getting yourself in and out of these places, on the back of these trucks. to get past him, and which means my passengers are now dust free. There's Sucre, back from the other side. So it didn't take us too long to get back. Got this nice windy road to drive down now, get back into the traffic in the centre of town.